What's up? It's your boy, celebrity photographer Felix Natal Jr., and I have my special guest today, former junior welterweight champion of the world, Kendall Holt. How you doing, my brother?
Doing good, man. I'm doing real good.
That's what's up, man. Thank you for coming by my spot, Media City. Be my first guest on Media City Radio.
I'm comfortable with that position. Number one, I'm actually comfortable with that position.
Well, you held that spot for a few years, so I think that's in your comfort zone.
Yeah, that's why I said I'm comfortable with it.
So what's new with you, my brother?
What's new?
Yes, sir.
All right, I'm gonna let the cat out the bag, but I don't even know if I'm supposed to know yet.
Okay.
All right, so my last fight was February 22nd, 2013, roughly 5 years ago.
Lamont Peterson, I know.
Lamont Peterson, I took an L. That was for the championship of the world. I took an L. That was my last fight. All right, so I haven't been back in the ring yet. I mean, a couple of things fell through. I kind of tried to get back there. It didn't really, things wasn't working out. You know, I was still trying to get my mind right and everything. But the good news is, 5 years later, like I said, I don't know if I'm supposed to know this, but I'm being inducted into the New Jersey Boxing Hall of Fame.
Oh, wow. That's amazing, my brother. Congratulations.
You know what I mean? So, yeah.
Definitely deserve that, man. It's crazy because I was just talking about that fight with wifey the other day. It was like, man, how time flies. Because I said, that's when I started an Instagram war because you was like, little man look just like wifey. All he got is your skin. I was like, oh, hell no. No, he doesn't. I said, no, he look like me. I said, we're going to find out right now, damn it. Let's take a picture, put it online. And we had like 100 people say, like 97 of them said wifey. I was like, oh, man.
Yo.
And I'm like, of course you love to hear it. You was right.
You know what? Because people say, oh, you can't be right all the time. And I'm not right all the time. But what I know, I know.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not going to get here and tell you, like, nah, the white balance is off. You know what I mean? The exposure should be this, the lens should be that. Because I don't know that stuff. But when I say something, generally, I know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I know. I'm like, man, I was like, nah, he looks like his dad. Everybody's like, nah, man, he look like his mom.
Nah, man.
And now they'll be like, okay, now he looks mixed, but he still looks more like his mom.
All like his mother. You can see all in when he smile, when he crying, like, nothing but her face.
Yeah, eyes especially. You know what I'm saying?
And with you, and then look, this, and you know, the eyes are everything because look, when somebody take a picture and they wanna use it as an ad or something and they don't have permission, what do? They block out the eyes.
Right.
So the eyes are everything.
Exactly.
So if his eyes look like her, you just admitted that he don't look like you. He look like her.
He got his father's smile. That's it.
You gonna try to find something, huh?
Yeah, no, I was talking about that. And I was just was another boxing fan, and he was just like, you know, what you thought about that fight? And I said, you know, what's crazy? We was there. You know, I was talking about how even Brandon and Plexico, everybody was upset because that was Peterson's first fight after his whole steroid situation layoff. He was out of the ring for like 18 months, if I remember correctly. And what's crazy is they were asking for your blood and urine after the fight, but I don't recall them asking him for that. And I remember how everybody got so upset about that because how was your first fight after being, you know, of course, you know, failed steroid test, and you would figure your first fight back, you know, of course, that's like, I would think mandatory that.
Check that blood, right?
Check that blood, check that urine.
But you know the thing is with that fight, like so ES Sports Center had the whole big thing saying that at first it says his test came back that he failed.
Right.
And then a couple days later, they went by or so, they said, nah, it was Kendall who failed. I said, me? I don't even take vitamins.
You don't diet at all, just for the record.
I don't do none of that. So I'm like, that's impossible. So, you know, when they take the sample, there's two samples. So my lawyer, Pat English, told them, all right, well, test the second sample. So they tested the second sample. That came back negative. Okay. So then ESPN had to run a retraction, but it wasn't all crazy the way it was when they saying I failed. Like the blogs picked it up saying, oh, he's cheating in this and third. Right. But when it came out that I was clean, that nobody don't post nothing about it.
Of course.
So then, but then why they never tested his second sample?
Of course, that's crazy. Why they
like,
would it?
I don't have a history
of course,
of failing drug tests. And then when we tried to get
You have a history of not wanting to make weight.
Yeah. Yo, I swear to God, let me tell you right now, boxing is easy.
Right.
Boxing is easy. What's hard about boxing, making weight, most people, I'm not gonna say most people, a lot of fighters, their whole camp is dedicated to losing weight. Right. And I don't know if Lamont was on anything. It really didn't matter because after like the third round and fourth round of that fight, right. I had nothing. Right. I was exhausted from making weight. Right. Exhausted. And technically, I don't remember nothing after the first round. Not that I got hit. Right. It was just like, it's not that I got hit hard. And it's not, he beat me up. But I wasn't like physically hurt right. as much as I was fucking exhausted. Like, so when the referee stopped it, it was like, whew. I was tired as hell, man.
I remember it was like the night before he was in the room like just trying to lose weight, and you like got the heat on like 110 degrees. I'm like, you had like 2 sweatsuits on. I'm like, bro, what's going on? I'm like, you're gonna be passed out before the fight.
See, but the thing is like people diet 6-8 weeks through camp and all of that. Mm-hmm. I've never done that. Never. I've been. All right, up until that fight made my 13th year as a professional boxer. But I've never dieted. I've never did anything. Like generally, when I'm getting ready for the fight, like I'll come into the day to weigh-in, and I'll be 7-8 pounds overweight. And for me, I was like, all right, well, I'll just sweat it out. I'll go run a treadmill, sit in the sauna a couple times that day. Or the night before I start, and then the night before the weigh-in, I'm like 7-8 pounds. So the day I wake up on the weigh-in, I'm maybe 4 pounds over, right. 4 or 5 pounds over. So then I'll run on the treadmill with the sauna suit on. I'll jump in the steam room and all that. And this is worked my entire career.
Don't realize you're dehydrating yourself that way.
Dehydrating myself is one thing. But now when I went into the Lamont Peterson fight, now I'm not 25, 26 years old, and that didn't dawn on me. I'm 31, right. So my body different.
Of course.
So that no matter what, like it just felt like the weight was not coming off. So like I was saying, whether he was on something or not, he didn't need it because I basically killed myself and handed him and let him keep the championship.
That's what we've been telling you for years. 147.
You know what? And Bob Arum, when I was with Top Rank, Bob Arum told Brandon Jacobs, who was my acting manager at the time, was telling him to move up to 47. And I'm like, for everybody, like, go from like, for what?
You're having that much problems there at 47. That's a lot easier for you.
Well, you know what? Like, all right. So
did you feel like you were going to lose your speed at 147 over 140?
It was just that I felt like I had an advantage over everybody else because, you know, in life, I'm a regular-sized man, a regular-sized human. But in boxing, for my weight class, I'm big. I'm like a monster, right. Especially with my punching power. Right. So it was like, all right, well, why I'm going to move up and then, you know, and fit in while I'm at this weight and I'm standing up. Right. All right, so take me back to 2011. I'm flying LA to fight Danny Garcia. Danny Garcia. So the same thing. Like all my fights I won after I defended my championship of the world, if I fought above 140, I won. If I had to make 40, I lost those fights. And it didn't take me to, you know, after the loss to Peterson, like everything went downhill. Like I didn't have any promotional company. Like, and you know, when I was in my investments, the bigger amounts of my investments came to me trying to build my own entertainment company. Of course. And I was investing in my R&B artists and my rappers and my studios and all that stuff. So all of my bulk of my money was out there. Of course. So then after that fight didn't, you know, I got paid from that fight, but not enough. And then after that fight, like I had no more fights coming in. So, you know, all this money going out, nothing coming in. Right. You know what I'm saying? I hit a speed bump. So I ended up going back to school for dialysis, and it wasn't till then when I went back to school and started learning about the human body. I learned about, medicines and herbal things and our organs, and then that instant it hit me like I was killing myself. And I tell my son all the time, yo, please listen to me, because I'm fucked up right now because I didn't listen. And I don't want you to be that way. So I'll give him tangible examples like where I live at now is not the same where I used to live back when I was up. Right. I'm like, now, and I'll show him like, look, we live okay, but look where we lived before. Right. He was younger, but he still remembers. So I'm like, this use me as an example for a person that didn't listen and that didn't work hard enough, not hard enough, well, hard enough and long enough, where I can sustain this type of life that I was living. Right. So I give him all these examples that he can readily identify and see with his own eyes. But getting back to it, all right. So I fought after I lost to Garcia. That was at 140. That was become number one in the world. So I lost that fight. That was gonna be number one in WBC, and I lost that fight. So I got a comeback fight, and I made 143, and I fought another former champion of the world, and I won. Right. So then I'm started thinking like, after I lost to Peterson, I'm thinking back like, damn, like all the fights that I won was above 140. Right. And after I lost to Bradley, and then so I started thinking
another crazy one.
Yeah. So I started thinking like, damn, so maybe I should move up. But after the loss, it was like, people pretty much had written me off like, all right, his best days are behind him. Right. And I kind of went along with that, like, because losing, especially when you feel like you've put your all into everything. So losing for me was emotional, and I just, of course. And then I didn't want to. I made up all these excuses. People, I got close friends. You, Brandon, my boy Baby Fats, my right hand Dub. Everybody like, yo, you should get back. You should get back. You should get back. And I'm just like, I kind of like make these excuses, like, because I don't want to put my all into it and then come up short again. Right. I think that was the big thing. But then I started realizing, all right.
That's not championship mentality.
That's not. That's not champion behavior.
Exactly.
Hashtag champion behavior. But so, I was like, you know what? This year, 2018, I've been out. My body healed. Like, I'm not suffering from anything. I'm going to go ahead and give it a run.
That's what's up, man. I'm always one of your biggest supporters, brother.
I appreciate it. Yo, we go back a long time.
Of course, my brother. Of course.
You did my first flyer. When I got the flyer, we took the pictures and I had the flyers. Like, I'm on the flyer.
I remember I said, when Johnny brought you to the studio still. I remember Keyshawn was like 6 months old.
Hey, he was a baby.
Well, he's 14 now, 15?
He about to be 15 in a couple months. Be 15.
That's crazy. No, but it's funny what you said earlier about, trying to tell your son how to follow your footsteps. That's the whole point of me creating this facility, Media City and Cave, is, to inspire the next generation of creatives and kind of let them know about my experience or let them speak to people who've had success. And it's how important it is to make the right decisions. We need Truth. Shout out to Truth.
Yeah. Somebody called Truth. Truth is the bomb publicist. Yeah. But I don't like people like, see, all right, like, see, we can sit down right here in an intimate setting and I can kick it with you. Right. But you want to bring all these people in the room and then have me stand up there on the podium and then just start speaking. Like, that's hard. Like, if we was in a circle or
well, you always tell me I have to open up, right?
Yeah, I'm saying, but that's, your field requires you to do that. Me, I get on the mic, I talk my shit, and then I'm out.
You always tell them you got a PhD in professional shit talking.
Absolutely. And you know what? And I speak the truth, too.
Definitely, my brother.
Like, cause when you did your speech, when we did the grand opening.
Oh yeah, me looking down. Paper, I know. Everybody was saying that, and I was like, man.
Shout out to.
I'm working on it, my brother.
You got the paper right here. Like,
I was like, man, it was so much stress. trying to get the facility done in time for the grand opening. By then, I was trying to memorize it, and I was like, you know what? It's not working out too well. I was in the back like, and I kept messing up. I was just like, you know what? I'm just gonna read it. I barely slept that day, neither. The night before. We was here at like 4:00 in the morning trying to get everything set up. I was just like, nah. I'm like, man, it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? That's what even Pastor said. Pastor was like, great speech, man, but you got to look up. He said, eye contact is important. You had such a powerful speech, but you didn't give no eye contact or saw the people's reaction or held pause for a second. Right, while they clapping, pause for a moment. But it's okay. I'm always been behind the camera. Yeah. So it's new for me, but you know what I mean?
But you was like looking at the paper. Hey. this how you was. I wanna, hey wife, my kids, yeah, I wanna thank them too. But this was
So with Geminis, right? This is my Gemini brother.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
And I'm all the way in the back. He's like, I want to start heckling.
Yeah, he started laughing at me. He's like, yo, I'm gonna make a meme out of this, yo. Yeah, this is how you don't speak when you give it a speech.
I forgot at the end I started saying something. But I wanted to heckle you the whole time. But I was like, you know what? He's nervous. I'm just gonna let him get it out. Man.
So what you think about how this new generation of music is, my brother? As you can see, the shirt. March 9th, greatest rapper of all time died today. We got to pay our respects. You know what I'm saying? Who's your favorite artist at the moment?
You know what I listen to? Mm-hmm. In my truck most of the time? 90s R&B. My favorite artist right now is probably Drake. This new hip hop, I don't know. I guess I'm the old head now. Right. Like it's I guess maybe because it's not geared toward me, and it's hip hop is generally geared toward the younger generation. But like just listening to it, I'm like, well,
I know.
I don't know.
I'm listening. My son is back from the army, so of course they hear the music coming from the 3rd floor, and I'm like,
loving it, right?
He's having pumping, and I'm like, what are you listening to? I'm like, as much great music as I've been putting into your ears over these years, and he'd be quick to say, he loved 90s hip hop. You know what I'm saying? He's like, he's always playing, Biggie, Pun, you know what I'm saying, Mobb Deep, Nas, you know what I'm saying? But he's just like, all his friends listen to what we call mumble rap.
Yeah, it's like nowadays, all you gotta do is talk about popping pills or, I mean, the lyrics is, I don't like, just the whole thing is like everybody got tattoos on their face and everybody's name is Little something. Little sit your ass down. I don't know. but I don't know. It's like, I don't know. The music is not captivating me. Like sometimes you will hear a hook that's pretty cool that you heard a while, but it's like my son like, oh look, listen to this little Uzi or this little nigga from down the street. I don't know. I'm like, why everybody got little in front of their name? Exactly. Is that the wave now?
I guess that's the wave now.
Like 90s, I think for me, 90s was the best era. And now you see Cardi B and what's the kid? Bruno Mars. Right. They got that 90s 90s song. They supposed to be doing the Martin over like. Yeah. I think just the 90s vibe was just so dope. Like, I still listen to 90s R&B in my truck. And my boy Dub would get in or Brandon to get in and be like, yo, champ, come on, man. Come on.
You have anything more current?
So and I don't really, everything is streaming now, so it's not like I have to go buy CDs or anything like that. So I'll just throw Pandora on and I listen to a lot of Meek. I like Meek. Like a lot of Meek, Drake, Nicki. I like Nicki. Nicki a dope rap artist. I know Cardi got the wave right now, and people always trying to pit them two together. I don't like two female rappers can coexist. Two top female rappers can't coexist without there being some type of competition. But then I tell people, like, if you go back in the history of hip hop, that everything was competition. There was no yo Felix, I got this dope ass beat. I want you to get on my track. Right. I want you to jump on this song with me. Back in the day, it wasn't like that.
Not at all.
Like everything was competition. So, I mean, so I guess for women artists, it's still like that. Where for the male artists, everything is more people. I guess the culture has evolved, and everyone embraces each other now. It wasn't like that at one time, though.
No, definitely not. It was
I
more battle rap. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It wasn't like this, but that's the same thing I be telling my children, man. That's why I be like, nah, man, I can't listen to none of this. It's not. Yeah. I mean, it's funny because they be like, but Dad, you're gonna be photographing a lot of these people.
That's business, but this ain't for you come on. You think these 40, 50-year-old white execs at Sony or at whatever hip hop station on record company is popping right now? You think they listen to this shit? No.
It's a paycheck to them.
They I mean, I guess they know what's selling right now. Mm-hmm. What the general public is paying attention to is mostly our younger generation. So I mean, it's business to them. So they're like, so they got people who have an ear to the street and see what's going on, and they meet in their boardrooms and they're like, all right, well, this guy's doing this guy's doing that. He's coming up. The sound, the music is changing because every few years,
of course.
So the sound of music changes.
Of course.
So it's like, all right, this is gonna be the new wave now. So they start bringing these guys up and then pushing them, and then some people flop, but a lot of times these record executives get it right.
It's like everybody always wanted to have a different sound, and now it seems like everybody's following, like you said, the same way. Yeah. All right, well, I appreciate your time today, my brother.
Yeah.
Thanks for coming in, brother. Thank you for being my first guest.
Yeah, I'm telling you, I'm comfortable with that number.
Where could they follow you at or anything?
Kendall Holt 456, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, whatever. I'm out there.
All right, make sure you follow The Media City Studio on Instagram, and of course you can follow me on Felix Natal Jr. Thank you and have a great day. God bless.